All right. Matt, the mortgage guy. In today's video, I'm going to dive into Zillow's latest home price forecast for the next 12 months. It's as bullish as ever. It's as crazy as ever. So I'm going to share those stats with you. I'm going to talk about why it's bad, what I think about what it's going to do to affordability, what it's going to do to people's payments. And I'm going to dive into some specific numbers on what it's done over the last year with home price appreciation, with rates going up, how that's affected your payment. I'm going to talk about what some people are doing, and stay to the very end. I'm going to give you some good, solid advice on how to stay sane in an insane market. All right, let's jump right into this. A mortgage broker who talks to people all day, every day, talks to real estate agents all day, every day. I'm going to give you my personal opinion on some of these numbers that Zillow's put out. Obviously, they're a big tech firm with a ton of data. They were incorrect on some of their predictions in the past, and we all know what happened with their flipping business. But with all that being said, I still like them, love them, hate them, whatever it is. You got to know that they have a bunch of data, right? And with a bunch of data, they're going to be able to generate some reports that could be relatively accurate, right? Whether you agree with it or not. So I'll jump right into some of the numbers. They're talking about home value growth, home price appreciation, it's called, basically how much home prices are going to increase to steadily continue to accelerate through spring. And when they look at it, they look at what were prices last January versus this January. Then in February, we'll look at what was last February versus this February. And in March, do the same thing. So it'll be year over year. How much have home prices gone up? They expect that to continue to accelerate and be 21.6% in May. So they expect May of 2022 to have 21.6% increase over May of 21. That is bonkers, right? Because we've already seen 15, 18, 20% home price appreciation in different markets. And then we're going to see another 20% appreciation. It's a bad thing, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why I think it's bad. And I'll tell you why folks who are in my position, whether you're a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, a real estate investor, we don't want to see these huge home price appreciation numbers. We know it's not sustainable. And so if we were to see these big numbers, it's going to make things even harder for a lot of buyers that we're working with. I've personally got over 100 people pre-approved and shopping for houses. If you look at January of 21 versus January of 22, where the rate increased from about 2.75 to 3.5, and the home values went up 19.9% nationally. If you took the median home price and you multiplied, you took 20% down payment. And again, not everybody has 20% down, but for this example, we'll use it. The principal and interest payment in January of 21, lower prices, lower interest rates, was $885. You go forward 1 year, which isn't that long, and you've got the 3.5% interest rate, and you've got that 19.9% appreciation. So it's that much more expensive, about 20% more expensive. That went all the way up to $1,162 a month. Again, we're talking median home price. We're talking 20% down, and we're talking just principal and interest. We're not factoring in taxes and insurance because it varies so widely throughout the US. But just to use this as a how much did payments go up, that's a 31% increase in 1 year. Now, that is something that I don't care who you are. I don't care how, optimistic you are about wage inflation, about people getting paid more. Home prices going up 31% is not sustainable. It's not healthy. I, for one, don't like it, right? And I think that some people get confused just because I work in the industry that I'm always going to say things are rosy, the sun is shining, right? This is not healthy. I'd love to see some slowdown. I'd love to see 3 to 5% appreciation, but this is what the numbers are showing. All the data that gets collected about how many people are trying to buy, how many homes are available on the market, all these factors that are going into some of these reports, that it kind of is what it is, right? So 31% increase on your mortgage payment, unfortunately. If we go up another 20% in a year, and we've already seen from January to February, the rates have gone from 3.5 closer to 4. If they go up to 4.25 or 4.5, we might be in the same position where year over year, a 30% increase in your payment. And as much as people say home prices are no longer affordable, I'm out, I'm not buying a house, you've got to also look at rent increases during that time period were also about 16%. So rent is not getting any cheaper. And I think with a lot of folks, if I have the conversation, you've got to choose one of two paths, both being hard. Renting, more expensive and hard in a lot of markets. Buying, more expensive and hard in most markets. You've got hard either way, right? And if you are wanting to become a homeowner, you're able to qualify and it fits within your budget, even if it's hard, maybe that's the path you take, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you're in this mortgage payment on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, it's going to be hundreds cheaper than the rents that keep going up 10, 12, 15% year on year, right? So with all that being said, what are people doing? What are people doing if it's 31% more expensive than it was last year, and looking forward a year, it might be another 30% more expensive to buy because of home price appreciation and because of rates going up? A lot of folks are seeking out one of two things: smaller homes or different neighborhoods. And in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to compromise. You would buy the size home you wanted in the neighborhood you wanted. But I'm seeing more and more, somebody gets pre-approved for 650,000, realize, you know what, the neighborhood I really wanted to live in, I can't afford much there. So I'm going to go over to this neighborhood. Or maybe I can't afford a 4-bedroom, 2-bath that's 1,900 square feet. I'm going to have to start looking at 3 2s that are 1,450 square feet. Sometimes one of those, sometimes both of those. It's a different neighborhood and a different size home. In some cases, people are moving from California to Texas, from California to Florida, and they're finding a place where maybe the town they're living in, because you can't just call a state, one state cheaper than the other, right? There's really nice parts of Texas. There's really inexpensive parts of California. So maybe it's a, part of California where the average home is 800,000. You move to a city in Texas where you can get a home for 400. You might get paid 80% of what you got paid here or there, but you're paying half for the housing, whatever the case may be, right? People are relocating. Housing affordability is driving some of that, right? So my best advice to you, if you're a home buyer in this crazy market, I'm talking to people, day in and day out. It's not a market for the faint-hearted buyer. It's driving buyers crazy. It's driving agents crazy. It's driving mortgage brokers crazy. I don't want to see you competing against 20 offers. I don't want to see you put in your 7th, 8th, 10th offer and all excited because you love the house and not get accepted. But if home buying is a priority for you, if home buying is a goal for you, I don't want you to lose hope. I don't want you to lose faith. Have realistic expectations. Have some patience. As a mortgage broker who only gets paid when somebody closes, I still remind folks, there's going to be homes for sale next month. There's going to be homes for sale next year. Whether rates are 3.9% or they're 4.3%, you still can work out something that fits within your budget, right? And so it's not like everybody needs to have their hair on fire, needs to go out and find a house this weekend and get an offer accepted, right? So have some patience, reasonable expectations, get a great real estate agent, a great mortgage broker. I promise you, more often than not, when I'm working with people that are frustrated or they don't get their first couple offers accepted, when the 3rd or 4th or 15th offer does finally get accepted, it's one of those things where, because it was so hard, it's that much rewarding. So if we can help in any way, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. Let us know where you're at, where we can help. And until next time, We gonna see.